Okay. So there's no reason why you should not have a portion of this Giving Tuesday. You just have to be ready to be ready. And that's why I always tell people you need to get grant ready because you got to be ready when that grant comes on. So here I want to go over a few things. I'm just going to talk about three things. Oh, I see some people in the waiting room. See, they're over here on this side, that side of my screen. So you got to bear with me while we're letting people in. There's no reason why you shouldn't be a part of it. So I'm going to talk about three things that you should have on your checklist. I'm going to hit these points in the next slides, but here I want you yourself to set a specific goal. Like, how much do you want to raise? Because this is what you're going to tell people. Hey, we're trying to raise $10,000 on Giving Tuesday, and then write your appeal based on that. And I'm going to give you some example of some appeals in just a moment. Giving Tuesday is the best day to increase your gift size, and you do that by saying we're doing a matching grant. And remember, it's not dollar for dollar. Remember that matching grant is volunteer hours. So you can tell people if you raise $10,000 on Giving Tuesday, you can say, hey, we've raised $20,000 because we were matched. And that puts you in a better light to donors. Like, wow, they're really doing well. But remember that volunteer hour, $28.54. You're going to be volunteer time. Hopefully your board members, you can spring them into action, into helping you with fundraising. And we're doing fundraising now, just not just by face to face, but we're doing it on social media. We're sending emails. So hopefully you are gathering data. Data is important in the nonprofit world. You guys, you get my emails. I ask for your phone number because it sends you a text reminding you of the event. Hey, the event's starting in 15 minutes. If I didn't have that data, I wouldn't be able to remind you, because people always say to me, like, tomorrow I'm going to get tons of emails. I missed it. Oh, I missed it. I'm so sorry. Da, da, da. Well, they probably did not sign up for it and allow me to send them the automatic text. When I say me, let the system send the automatic text. So technology is your friend, and we definitely have to start embracing technology. Also, the third thing I'm going to talk about is you crafting your communication timeline. So right now we're in October. This is the time now. November is like another few weeks. This is the time now to start crafting your message. Not just you, bring your board members aboard, bring your volunteers on board to help you craft your message of what you want to send out and what you want to say to people. I'm going to let you answer questions in just a moment. For the quality of the recording, I'm just going to keep going, and we'll be able to ask questions in a moment, or you can put them in the chat room and I'll read them a little later. Okay, so the first goal, as I mentioned, is to set specific goals and write appeals. So when you're writing appeals, that is when you're basically saying, this is an example. We want to raise $24,000 to build a new classroom to support 30 new children. So you have to know your specific goal. As I met several of you the other day, and you said that you want to, do health fairs, or you want to do feed the homeless or help veterans. So you need to be specific in how much you need to raise, and then tell them what it's for, because people like to know what they're giving their money for, right? Here's another example. You want to raise $3,000 to support a 24-hour caretaker service. I think there was somebody who was going to be a caretaker. So all of these things matter. You want to activate 200 more supporters to fundraise for a new community garden. So you've got to set some goals and then craft your appeal around it. And remember when I was telling you, you're going to weave a story into your appeal. Those 30 new children that you want to help, why? What's so significant about helping them? So you want to weave that into your story when you're crafting your appeal. The next thing I want to talk about, this is very, very important. I mean, everything is important, but here when you're setting your goals and your appeals, sorry, the slide didn't advance, did it? Did it advance? Did my slide advance to the next slide? Because I'm multitasking.
No, it did not.
Okay, thank you. All right. There we go, right? Okay. So when you set your specific goals and then kind of craft your story, this is what people say on social media. Look, I gave because I read that story. It was very important, to hear what people are doing. So you want to write a compelling story. A good story is going to put a face behind your campaign. It's going to make people emotional. It'll make them feel like they have a connection to you. It's going to show donors how they fit into your story. Like somebody, I don't know who, somebody, I can't remember her name, but she had the story about coming from prison. I mean, I can relate to her story because my father was in prison. So I will probably support her if she had asked me on Giving Tuesday Day. So you want to let people see how they fit in your story, and that's why you have to tell them the story. Always tell them the story. And then your fundraising appeal, they have to communicate that you're trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish on Giving Tuesday or your year-end giving. So Giving Tuesday again is just a 1 day, 24-hour support. Like you guys have the North Texas Giving Day. It's kind of like that 24-hour support. So this is a 24-hour, I would say, global giving campaign that you definitely want to push. Send them reminder emails and just clearly explain to them, how someone can take action. You want to tell them you can donate by Cash App. We're doing Cash App. We're doing Venmo. We're doing Zelle. We're doing PayPal. But the main thing you want to do is make it accessible for them. Like, because when people see stuff, they say this 8-second rule. They see it, either they're going to click on it and say, oh, I'm going to donate. You got to give them that opportunity to donate like right then and there. It's very important to be able to, for them to click, because once you lose them, you might lose them. And sending them a reminder email sometimes is annoying, right, to some people. But I like reminder emails because I'm like, oh, I forgot to give. So also here is something that you can give or talk about in your specific goal, how you can craft your appeal is tell them, look, in 24 hours, we're trying to raise $24,000 to provide kids the opportunity to go to school. So a one-liner, two-liner, or if you want to use something like the difference in the 24 hours, excuse me, $24,000 that you give or help us raise or even help us get to that goal, then Shauna, who wasn't able to go to school because, her mother was a cancer survivor and she had to take care of her mother. This will help her realize her dream of finishing college, something, but you gotta weave in those stories with your appeal. Also, the second thing I want to talk about is, this is very important too. Everything that I'm saying is kind of like, I'm going to say it's all important because remember I was talking about the matching gifts. So increasing the size or securing a matching gift. Matching gifts can come from your board. You have to start asking your board members. Have you guys heard of the policy give, get, or get off? I know get off sounds really harsh, but basically some boards have policies where either you give and you can set the amount, $500 a year, $400, whatever, 1,000, or you help us raise that much, or if you don't want to help, then get off, because we need people. That's the board's job, is to help keep the organization healthy financially, period. Like they say, period.com. That's the board's job. You can also ask for a matching gift from a major donor. It may be somebody at your business, at your place of work, or other companies. You say we're looking for matching dollars. Using the word matching dollars, I'm telling you, it's a thing. It really works because, again, you now know your matching dollars could come from volunteer hours, but they may not know that you're using volunteer hours. But seeing that matching dollar, that really matters to people. You could also, people that you ask for annually. I don't know if you all have a system where you have donors that always give to you. Those are the people you definitely want to put in your database for your Giving Tuesday. And they may give more or they may give less. But again, say, hey, you want to be a matching donor for this? This will help, 24 kids graduate and attend HBCU. But you definitely want to reposition the gift that's already. Some people will pledge, so you can reposition yourself or your nonprofit. Say, hey, if you can't give today, then make a pledge. Remember, we used to pledge a lot in church growing up. Same thing. We want to have people, give people the opportunity to make a pledge as well. So my last thing, actually this is not the last thing, when you're crafting your communications, I was want to tell you, I heard a lot of your stories, and that's why I went around the room and kind of looked at your mission statement and had some of you change it because you want it to make a clear impact. When you communicate these things, your message has to be emotionally driven. You have to tell people a story. The story don't have to be long. It could be, a couple of sentences, but you have to tell a story because your story is what's going to make that impact. And because it's Giving Tuesday, or if it's a year-end giving, or if it's Thanksgiving giving, you have to tell them how urgent the need is. And you have to be specific in your ask. So if you want, you know your donors better than anybody. The ones who've been giving to you, I'm a $50 donor. I always give $50, or Shelly's a $100 donor. Then say, hey Shelly, would you mind giving $100 or $50? But you need to be specific in your ask and tell people how much you're going to raise. And this is what a lot of nonprofits fail to do, is campaign consistently. Even during this 24-hour period, you got to send a pre-letter, you got to send a reminder letter, and then you got to send a letter the day of, or when I say letter, email the day of. Hey, it's Giving Tuesday, don't forget, and your donation means a lot. You got to send a thank you letter, and then after that, you should send a follow-up email saying, hey, this is what your donation did, because people like to know that they made a difference. That's why people give to nonprofit. They don't give just for giving's sake. They like to know that they made a difference. So let's get into some of the things you could do. Excuse me, I'm trying to get to the right slide. This thing is so sensitive. All right, so let's get into planning your timeline. So most campaign has a clear timeline. I was talking to Margie earlier, and she was talking about, that's what I got to do. I got to get a team. I got to get people committed. I got to have them do certain things, certain projects, So that's what you want to do. You want to have a timeline. I'm going to show you a timeline in just a moment. You can take a screenshot of this. You want to have a timeline to have an initial email by, say, Aretha, you help us write this initial email. And I'm gonna email you samples where you can provide to your board members or people that help you fundraise, so they can craft their own message and make it their own. So like if Rochelle sent me an email and say, hey Aretha, I want you to send this to 10 people, but you're gonna say it's from you. You're gonna have a sample email that I can just put my name in it. Yes. Okay. Yeah, I could just put my name in it and just send it off, so it'll look like it's from me. So you want to do that. So when you're sending one email, send the day before, send a reminder email, send one the day. If you have people donating and you have the database and you've seen, okay, Rochelle, Leandra, Lisa's already donated, Jadine's already donated, so I'm not going to send them this reminder email. I'm going to remove them from this reminder list. Yeah, it's work, but it's worth it. That's what this whole nonprofit world is. It's work, right? So here is an example of something you could use as when planning your timeline. So like I said, we're in October, right? Right now, you have to be writing your message. Determine your goal, how much you want to raise, how much you think you can raise. I'm going to answer some questions in a moment when I'm finished this, and I'm almost done with the PowerPoint. Then I want to open it up for questions. Determine how much you want to raise. Write your campaign message. This is not just for Giving Tuesday. This is for all of your fundraising. Whenever you're having a fundraising event, whenever you're having a dinner for anything, anytime you're doing fundraising, you can use all of the same thing. So you want to map out your timeline. You want to do videos. You guys saw I was doing little videos of you guys. I use them on social media to remind people, hey, this is what Judine said, so sign up for the next one. So you want to do those kind of videos for your giving too. Hey, my name is Aretha, and I give to One Heart for Women and Children, and every year I give to them, and today is no different. I am pledging to give $1,000. I'm going to start with giving $500, and I'm going to pass the next $500. So you can send an email, a video like that on your social media. Take videos of your board members, reminding people about your organization. It's a team effort, and I notice like it's usually one person from the organization coming. So start having your board members come to these meetings as well. So you send out the communication to your supporters, and then ask key supporters to help you with the campaign. Again, I got samples for that. I'm going to email you. So now November, you should have a fundraising page already up. You don't wait to Giving Tuesday to have that fundraiser page to remind people of Giving Tuesday, because they don't have to wait to give on Giving Tuesday. So go ahead and have your fundraising website launch, or the page that you want to talk about, or just a flyer. People doing Canva flyers and just a link for that. Talking to your partners, get them excited, rally them up and get them ready. Before the week of Giving Tuesday, you want to promote heavily on social media, in your email, talk about it to your board members when you're going to church, or wherever you're at, you want to talk about it. And then Giving Tuesday is the day you really, really pounce. So remember, I said after Giving Tuesday, you always want to follow up with a thank you. So you're going to celebrate your impact by showcasing to your supporters, a video or a picture worth 1,000 words. It is true. Send a picture of the impact, or an email from somebody. Somebody had sent me an email. It was so impactful. And I love when my people who've been to my class send me emails. The grants they've gotten. Jean, Jean is in her 70s. Jean just got a $55,000 grant. She was in my grant writing challenge several months back. And she's like, oh my God, when you told me that, it made such a difference and we got the grant. And those kind of things matter. So you can show emails. Again, you can also tie this in with your year-end giving. Because remember, you want to ask again for the holidays as well. If you do Thanksgiving drives, you can make it your Thanksgiving drive. But while you're doing this, you definitely want to cultivate new donor relationships. When I came to Texas this past weekend, I cultivated new relationships with y'all. I'm sure we're going to stay in touch for years from now. And that's what you want to do with your donors too. You want to build a relationship, because giving is really about relationship building, right? If you don't know anything else, that's what giving is about, relationship building. Your funders want to know that they have a relationship with you, and it may not be a best friend relationship, but they can see, sorry, somebody's in the waiting room, what you're doing, and they say, hey, I'm a part of this. I have a relationship. I'm a part of this organization. So now I want to talk again about that time frame here. I'm giving you some kind of dates that you can use. You can take a screenshot of that. November 1st, you want to launch it, have it on your website. By November 15th, you want to send that initial email and set expectations. Begin promoting it on your social media, on your Facebook. And I know if you're like me, I don't like social media. I do not. I got somebody manage my social media 2 days a week, and I'll go on there one day because it's just distracting to me and everything. So, but for you, social media is your friend, because I've seen a lot of people. I'm going to use myself as an example. I looked up makeup artists in Norfolk, Virginia. When I just went to my best friend's 60th birthday party, and makeup artists came up in Norfolk, Virginia on Instagram. People do that for nonprofits. They'll say nonprofits in the Como area, a nonprofits that give to children. You put those hashtags on there and put your city on there on the hashtags. That's how people are found out. I'm a board member for an organization, and that's how she was able to get a grant from a doctor. He's like, hey, we pick organizations to give to every month, and we just looked up nonprofits that serve women and children, and yours popped up. So social media is your friend. So make sure you use social media. So again, by the 20th, you want to send an email, kind of plant the seed as well, email of appreciation of what people do in their community, because people are still giving and doing other things in their community. If you know them personally, you want to send me an email, Aretha. Thank you for all that you do in our community. We're looking forward to seeing you on Giving Tuesday. 28th, you want to send out another email saying, hey, this is how you can get involved tomorrow. It's the biggest day, and we're trying to raise $10,000 matching funds. Tomorrow, you want to send that email outlining the why, behind your appeal, and then push it on social media all day. Do it 3 times a day if you can. You want to send that follow-up email later in the evening if you haven't reached your goal and say, hey, we haven't reached our goal. Please help us. Again, if you need to do it again later in the night. By, people get on social media 11 o'clock at night. Have those automatic emails set. And then do not forget to say thank you. I cannot say that enough. Do not forget to say thank you. I know we just don't understand the value sometimes of saying thank you. People say thank you in the grocery store. People say thank you at the post office when somebody opened a door. Your donors like to hear thank you. They like to hear thank you not by you giving them a trophy or something like that. They just like to be appreciated. So I'm going to stop right here. Just ask you to just remind you, if you want the sample letters, and I know you do, everybody please put your email in the chat, because what I'm going to do is pull your name directly from the chat and put it in this email that I have ready to go. It's sitting on my screen. So I want to stop and open it up for questions. While you open it up for questions, you might see me doing something. What I'm doing is setting up that email to go out. So feel free to ask questions. No one has any questions? If you're talking, you're on mute. You feel free to unmute yourself. How many of you have a Giving Tuesday or ever done Giving Tuesday? Anybody? Okay, Diana has. Perfect. Good, good, good. You want to share how that worked out for you, Diana?
Hello, everyone. Hello to you. How are you? Good to
Hi.
see you, Miss Aretha.
Good to see you too.
Yes, I only gave. I've never been allotted the opportunity to ask.
Ah,
So I claim 2023 is my year for asking and receiving.
all right. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. And see, so a lot of us give, but we've never asked. And everybody here has a nonprofit. So now we have to start learning how to ask. And you know what the word says, you have not because you ask not.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So in the chat room, I have Sharmisha, I hope I'm saying it right, Margie, and Rochelle. I need everybody to put your email in the chat so that I can send you this file, because I'm going to do it right here and right now. I'm going to stop the recording. Unless there any questions, who's ready to do this Giving Tuesday this month? I mean this
I am. This is Rochelle. I'm ready. I put my email in the chat. It's Changing Chains Ministry.
Yep, got it, got
I
it.
have a question. You stated that our name, okay, so ever since the seminar on Saturday, I've been thinking about changing my name from ministry and take that off. Do I take it off the 501c3 or just use changingchange.org, or can I just use changingchange.org?
Okay, what is the name of your nonprofit?
Changing Change Ministry.
Okay, changing change. So changing and then change.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, and what do y'all do? Tell me.
We have children mentoring program,
Yeah.
mental health and women's for people who are incarcerated now,
Yeah,
and their
definitely.
children are out here with us, and so we provide a lot of services.
Yeah, so what you have to do is do articles of amendment to change the name on the state level, and then you send the approved letter that you got from the state to the IRS with a letter saying that this organization name is changed to this. And then they will
Okay.
send you a letter, and they will change it in their system as well.
Could could you repeat those steps again to do that?
So if you wanted to change your name, what you do, you have to do articles of amendment on the Secretary of State's website. So basically, the articles of amendment say the name is, we're changing the name to. And once they approve it, you have to send the approval letter with a letter to the IRS saying that Changing Chains Ministries new name is now Changing Chains, and here's the approved, articles of incorporation. And then they will send you a letter stating the name is changed, or they'll put it on their website as well. Okay. All right, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people's email. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 6. Okay, that's everybody then. Judine, I don't have yours. I know you were here. Judine, you want to put your email in the chat? You can send it directly to me.
Oh, not yet. I was sorry, I was away from the phone. No, I'm going to put it in the chat now.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So any other questions? Whenever I do these trainings, I make them very brief because I respect people's time, and time is valuable. So if there are no questions, I'm going to let you have your time back. I got the last email, and you're going to get this email in.
Yes, I already have another question.
Yes, right now. It just went to your email box. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, cool. I have another question, which is the same question. Can I just use both names, Changing Chains Ministry
So
for ministry and Changing Chains for community outreach?
whatever the legal name is, that's the name you have to use. And the legal name is the name
okay.
incorporated with. All right, I just got yours, Leandra. So I'm just gonna have to forward you the message I just sent. It's all good. All right, I'm gonna forward it to you.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Any other questions? Good questions. This is stuff that people need to hear, because I'm
I have
sure.
a
Yes.
quick question from my president.
Okay.
Our organization is in need of a house for storage of our equipment, for meetings and stuff like that.
Uh-huh.
Can you get grants to help with purchasing a house or asking people to donate a house?
Yeah, absolutely. It's not even a grant to. You can ask for a grant to buy a house, but then you got to be specific which house. Say you got to know which house it is.
Mhm.
But or you could say you're fundraising to purchase a home, but you may want to phrase that as an in-kind donation. Just ask, say we're looking for a home, in-kind donation, because I've known people that gotten homes donated to them. My cousin here in Florida, he got a house donated to people. Some people just think, I'm not going to use it. I'm never coming back to Florida. You can have it. I'm going to donate to your nonprofit. So people donate houses.
Okay.
You may want to put it on your website as a wish list, and tell people why. So put it out there. If you don't put it out there, no one's going to know your need. Yeah. Any other questions around that? In-kind donation or asking for a donation, large like that, it happens. Yeah. Or even if somebody wants to donate the use of a home for 2 years,
Mhm.
So that's something you could ask for. But you have to put it out there. You have to put the ask out there. And it's okay to put those things on your website. You can say our wish list and put it out there, and put it in bullet points if there's more than one thing that you need on your wish list. Because if you get a house, you might need shelving. You might need I don't know what else you might need. Yeah. Any other questions? No other questions? Well, thank you, ladies. It's always the ladies showing up. I thank you so much for reviewing the book. I appreciate your emails. Continue to send them, and I will. Somebody just asked for the link for the for this thing. I sent it. Did you guys get the email? Well, it's okay. So yeah, continue to send me the screenshot of your books review, and I'll add you to the December December Go Get Your Grant webinar. All right, have a great evening, ladies. Bye-bye.
Bye. You have a great evening as well.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you for everything.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.